I think for the first time since maybe the summer, to peek at the division and wonder if the Ottawa Senators have a chance to creep into that wild card race. Currently 6 points out. But of course, if you look, Washington Senators have 3 games in hand on the Capitals. So there's more than one way into the big dance. So what do you think, Stephen? Is this just a little blip, a mini surge, or do the Senators actually have a chance to contend for a playoff spot?
I do think it's still a bit of a mini surge. Obviously, statistically, they still got a shot, but the good thing for them going forward is they've got this time off right now to recharge like everyone. But then they also have a pretty decent schedule coming up with a lot of teams they can go out there and beat. And looking at Columbus, looking at Montreal, they got Washington on the schedule, and that's one that'll be interesting. So the Senators, you definitely can't count them out. And obviously, you're getting some great performances from Kachuk and Stützle and everything. My biggest concern there still is the goaltending. Cam Talbot has not lived up to expectations this year. Anton Forsberg's been able to steal a couple games from there, but I'm not convinced that goaltending is good enough to take them to the playoffs. So while I was one of the few that probably believed they had a good chance of making it this year, losing Josh Norris obviously didn't help. And let's be fair, they went out and beat the Laval Rocket last night. They didn't go out there and beat like an NHL caliber team. But that's just one game. They went out there and beat the Leafs, and they went out there and had a good stretch, obviously. But I think this is more of just a mid-season nice little run more than a team really showing true promise this season.
I think you're mostly right. I wouldn't say I'm a believer quite yet, but I am intrigued. If you look at the possession numbers, there are some encouraging signs. The Senators, they're a top 5 team in terms of chance generation, play driving at 5-on-5, and they're near the bottom of the league in shooting percentage. They've actually been unlucky, so there should be some more goals coming. And you do have Anton Forsberg getting hot, maybe staking his claim to that job. Of course, Cam Talbot being a trade candidate as we get closer to March 3rd. But I'm still thinking this team isn't quite good enough defensively. Of course, they miss Artem Zub. They're near the bottom half, or they're in the bottom half of the NHL 5-on-5 at expected goals against per 60. So I think they're settling in to being the team that I thought they were going into the season. This is an 85 to 90 point team that is pretty exciting on offense. You saw that number up there, those stats, number 2 power play in the league. But this is still a bubble team.